What's going on, guys? This video is called These WWE Stars Went Too Far. Now, don't mind the random Christmas tree right here on the ground. I'm moving right now, so you're gonna see a lot of random things happen right here. But before we get into the video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it. Let's get into this.
In 2008, Michelle McCool was set against Beth Phoenix. Now, when it was time for Beth to hit the Glam Slam, she didn't unhook McCool's arms, therefore making it impossible for her opponent to soften the blow.
Her finisher, she hooks your arms and then like face plants you. Well, she didn't unhook my arms. Don't know why. She definitely knew how because she'd had plenty of matches.
Now, it's uncertain as to why Phoenix decided to do this, but she stated that there's more to the story, which makes this case even more confusing.
So she did that on purpose?
Who suspects she got a concussion from the accident, personally reached out to her former peer, but didn't receive an explanation.
Why didn't you unhook her arms? Her answer was there's more to the story. Bottom line, I still never got the other side of the story, so I don't know what it is, but I asked.
If you're like,
wait, hold on. First and foremost, you don't suspect you had a concussion. Either you did or you didn't. What did the doctor say? Okay, but at the end of the day, if I thought I got a concussion from something you did, there's more to the story isn't a valid answer for me, okay? I need more information than that because I deserve it because you gave me a possible concussion. But if you think about it, when it comes to McCool, she can't take on the Glamazon one-on-one in real life. You know, she can't throw the blows with her. I mean, at some point when someone's bigger than you, sometimes when Debo takes your chain, you never had a chain at all, okay? It never happened. You never had a chain a day in your life. So sometimes you got to take an L and keep moving on with your life to preserve your health.
Me, you remember these as the good old days. When I was your age, WWE was absolutely wild. Back
this
in
wasn't way too far.
Early 2000s, you whippersnappers. All of it was very unpredictable, and you'd never know where you'd see the wrestlers fight next. I mean, we've seen breaks fight out in places like the grocery store.
I love this. This is so entertaining.
And you see these titans brawling in like the frozen foods aisle. So one of the weirdest places was perhaps the hospital. So Mr. McMahon was recovering from an injury when none other than Stone Cold Steve Austin attacked the CEO while being disguised as a nurse. So this was just hilarious because I'd like to imagine people who'd never watched wrestling reacting to this segment. So during Alexa Bliss's talk show, Charlotte and Bayley were arguing about probably who's stronger or whatever. Let's be real, it doesn't take much creativity to be a WWE scriptwriter.
Charlotte arms strong. Bailey, no, I'm stronger.
At a certain point, Bailey decided to push Charlotte off her chair, which was the most random thing ever. Oh, and then Charlotte was just sitting on the floor for a while. So when we say we want quote-unquote creative script writing, this is not what we mean at all. So Triple H and Kane's infamous Katie Vick storyline is the most messed up piece of content that has ever aired on television. While we cannot depict the plot due to its gruesome nature, viewer discretion advised. In a nutshell, it featured themes of murder and necrophilia. It was labeled the most distasteful storyline of all time by fans, and even Triple H has stated that the bit wasn't one of his favorites.
I don't blame him.
That's one way to put it.
I'm glad you didn't say the Katie Vick incident.
With this being said, when Vince McMahon's getting sued for a lot of this stuff, and yes, millionaires get sued for random stuff, but if his mentality is still how it was around the Katie Vick thing, I wouldn't be surprised if more lawsuits is coming through just based off of some content that was written behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? That Katie Vick thing, that was just crazy. Even for that time period, that was crazy.
This is probably one of the most infamous, authentic feuds that took place in wrestling. To put it simply, Matt Hardy was close friends with Edge while dating Lita. Now, after the wrestler got injured, Lita started dating Edge behind Hardy's back, which naturally resulted in some bad blood between the wrestlers.
I don't think that I owe you an explanation of my relationship with Edge. You cutting wrestling promos in a personal context.
So WWE initially fired and then hired Hardy in order to make him face the rated R superstar. Now, this was one of those times when everyone was aware of their real-life beef, as Hardy didn't shy away from being vocal about the matter on the internet.
It was like something that we really had substance to sink our teeth into and really work hard and like tell a story where people legitimately thought we wanted to murder each other, and we tried to take advantage of that.
Edge and hey, this goes to show you neither one of them ended up with her at the end of the day. Okay, I mean, like right now they're married to completely different women that aren't named Lita, so that lets you know, don't fight over people. Okay, it ain't worth it. What's the point? It's not going to matter in the future.
Cena's rivalry was full of shocking moments. It was the ruthless aggression era after all. The two fought in all kinds of locations. One time, Cena attacked Edge in his hotel room and shoved food into his mouth. A few months later, Edge visited Cena's childhood home, went through his personal stuff, and bullied his father. And of course, who can forget the time John threw Edge into the Long Island Sound? That was probably the most unreal place for wrestlers to fight. Ruthless Aggression Era was truly producing the most wholesome content.
You really got a kick out of performing that day. So, I mean, it was it was hilarious.
Now, I would say the best one, that one's crazy, but one of my favorite ones of all time is when Triple H went into Randy Orton's family house. It felt like a whole, like, thriller movie, like some type of murder movie or whatever the case may be, like Scream or something like that. I love that so much, man. Go check it out if you haven't seen it.
Falls Count Anywhere matches can go haywire pretty quickly. We learned this when Mickie James was set against Melina on Raw. The duo decided that the ring was not enough, and not only did they continue their fight backstage, but they also somehow ended up in the women's locker room. These are professional competitors we're talking about though, so the other wrestlers didn't shy away from interfering in the match, with Victoria helping her friend Melina, and Tori Wilson dealing with Victoria with a hairspray.
Her arms fell
in
in
2012,
crazy.
The Rock would face John Cena in a once-in-a-lifetime WrestleMania match. Now, while the two clashed once again the next year, it's during their first encounter that genuine heat arose. Their rivalry really went next level when John Cena pointed out on live TV that The Rock had written notes on his wrist just seconds before heading into the ring.
Just like I don't need my notes for my promo on my wrist.
WWE star Natalya stated, "I was around during that time backstage. They couldn't be in the same room."
I remember there being real tension. You come out of a promo segment and you think everybody's gonna be fine. They're like, oh, they can't even talk to each other. They can't even be in the same room.
Jillian is truly an iconic singer slash songwriter who
Oh, yeah, I
revolutionized
remember
pop
this.
music. But you know what's not iconic? That fake mole she had on the side of her face. Until she didn't, thanks to the boogeyman, who one day just decided to eat it off her face. Poor Jillian. From this to being a horrible singer to being champion for 5 seconds, man, she's been through a lot.
While Vince McMahon was being interviewed alongside his daughter, Stephanie, he was informed by a security guard that Undertaker's minion, Mideon, yes, that ironically rhymed, and no, not the yellow dude from Despicable Me, was detected in the parking lot. That's when Vince rushed to Mideon and brawled with him, even tried to run him over with a car. Decades later, the bit where Vince McMahon was informed of Mideon's presence became a meme on the internet, adding captions such as, "Me when I find the guy that puts letters in math."
You take me to him! Take me to the son of a bitch! Take me to him!
After Becky Lynch won a match against Asuka on Raw in 2020, Shayna Baszler suddenly attacked her from the back, started to viciously beat her up, and then proceeded to bite her neck. The crowd was in absolute shock as the blood was drenching from Shayna's mouth. Later, paramedics came out in order to check on Becky's injured neck.
Vampire! Get her out of there!
Freaking vampire.
This next one happened on an episode of Raw in 2011. After our
They should put her in Attack on Titan so she could like bite the nape of the Titans. I think she would be good for that.
Truth lost a match against John Morrison. He had a mental breakdown and attacked John during his celebration. He then took a cigarette pack from a fan and proceeded
Started smoking
to
it. Yeah, I
smoke.
remember that.
This was especially shocking as the company was even more PG back then than it is today.
I don't even know if that's PG.
Did he get in trouble
At
for
the
smoking
2020
indoors
Extreme
though?
Rules,
That's
Rey
crazy.
Mysterio and Seth Rollins competed in an eye for an eye match where one would win
Oh,
via
yeah.
gouging the opponent's eye. Seth won the match by pushing Rey's eye into steel steps, and they even
Yeah.
used a prosthetic eyeball to make it seem more extreme.
2 eyes are better than 1.
All right, time for a flashback to 10 years ago. Doesn't that seem like an eternity? And then also like yesterday? Anyway, back in 2013,
that's true.
WWE wanted to bring back female wrestlers, such as the Bella Twins, Maurice, Maria, and Kelly Kelly. But then the company later pulled the ultimate reverse card and only brought back the twins.
The next day I got a phone call and they said, well, the deal is off, none of you guys are coming.
As a result, the others involved claimed multiple times that it was Brie and Nikki who blocked them from returning. Now, Brie stated that she couldn't even get a championship after returning, let alone the authority to block someone. Maurice has a feud with both of the sisters that revolved around this issue, but it seems like they're now on good terms.
How dare Brie and Nicole get something over me? Like,
Okay, all right. So what did you guys think? Which one was the craziest one? The one I remember that really grossed me out and still grossed me out to this day is Boogeyman biting the mole off. Like that is Crazy. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Salute, peace, have a good day.